Good, encouraging. And when he struggled there a little bit with the infield hit where that ball kind of stayed down on Didi and then a walk and then the homer, and he lost command a little bit there. That's where the last couple outings we've seen him get away from him. But I thought he reined it in really nicely and overall had a pretty good day and a bounce back outing for us. Unfortunately, we just didn't obviously mount enough. But I thought an encouraging outing for Domingo.
When he's pitching from the stretch, it seems like sometimes he runs into a little bit of trouble in those situations. Have you noticed that, or do you have any reason as to why that might be?
No, I don't feel like there's an issue. I think sometimes he loses a little bit of command with his fastball. But I thought today the ability to spin it when he wanted to for a strike, I thought was a good thing. But no, I haven't necessarily noticed that he has an issue in the stretch.
Do those runs in the second inning feel like a lot more put up than are, knowing who's on the other side and Verlander and the way he'd been throwing?
Sure. I mean, you're up against one of the game's best. That said, I know we're always in it, and even felt that way today. Like, if we could just ding him enough, obviously the pickoff at second kind of hurt, and Birdie puts a good swing on him. We're able to get him out of there, and, we had a couple of opportunities, but you realize it's going to be tough. But with our guys, you also know if we can continue to grind and continue to create traffic, we're always, one swing away from a lot of our guys from making a game out of it.
Eric, to your right, Aaron.
Aaron, what happened to Glaber on that pickoff?
Just got picked off. I think just probably a little aggressive with his secondary and, didn't consider that enough. We know he likes to spin a lot. It wasn't necessarily even the good spin move, but, I think just trying to be a little too aggressive with his secondary there with 2 outs and got caught.
He obviously has not made a lot of mental mistakes since he's been up here. Is that a situation where you feel you need to say something to him, or he knows he made a mistake?
I think, we're always communicating with our guys, and, Glaber's such a smart player that, there's moments that happen within the course of the game that are always teaching moments, but not always that needs to be said. I mean, that's pretty understandable about, I'm confident he'll learn from that. He'll kind of catalog that and grow from it. And, but yeah, we're always communicating that kind of stuff with our guys.
Brian.
What did you make of Glaber's day in the field? He had the throwing error, but also a couple really nice plays.
Yeah, just the one where, not finishing the play. What I do love about him is he plays the game with so much confidence that he's not affected. And, I think that's a case where another kind of teaching moment, he'll understand that because he plays the game with such confidence and with such ease, sometimes when it's really easy, you can, not necessarily finish the play. And that's all that was right there. But I never worry about him as far as whatever's gone on in the game, whatever's happened. I never worry about it continuing or a poor play or a great play leaking into the next one. He just plays the game with that much confidence.
In the middle, back.
Aaron, you mentioned Bird's home run. He ripped a single later in the ninth. I guess for him, so quickly back, how encouraging is it to see him off to that already?
Very. I think his at-bats all 3 days now. Yesterday, thought he had a lot of good at-bats, just missed the ball to right. Controlling the zone, you can just see a real comfort up there. So, the fact that he's gotten some early results is nice, but what I've been pleased with is really all of his at-bats have been really competitive, and you can tell he's in a really good place.
Who else? Lindsay?
After Didi went oppo to beat the shift, were you surprised that when they shifted in the same way in his next at-bat?
Well, the first one with the squibber down the line, No, that's a kind of a fluky, that's not a case of him trying to beat the shift or anything. No, I'm not surprised. I mean, teams are pretty convicted with, how they're going to play someone. There's different situations that some teams, maybe if a situation calls for it and you think the player's capable of that. No, I'm not surprised when teams are convicted with how they play a guy.
Susan, go ahead, Lindsay.
And then coming into today with Didi's struggles, did you feel, with him swinging at more first pitches, seeing fewer pitches, did you feel that he was getting aggressive in a way to try to bust out of the slump in a way that he wasn't aggressive in his at-bats in April?
I think he's been working hard to get himself into a strong hitting position, and sometimes when you go through some scuffles, it seems like they really work to try and get ahead of you, and then 0-1's a bad place to hit from. So I haven't had any issue with the way I always want our guys to go up there on the hunt, looking to be aggressive. And I feel like when you're in a good place and doing that, you usually have the ability to shut it down, and that's when you see guys really getting into deeper counts, controlling the zone. But I have no issue with him going up there and looking to, to get on something early.
Susan.
Okay, even if the first hit was a fluky thing for Didi, what can getting 2 hits do for him to finally get results?
Yeah, and I believe it was that at bat. It might have been the at bat before. I thought we saw some good swings from him. I think he yanked the ball foul, but I felt like he got in a stronger position more consistently. Hit another ball to center okay. Look, when you're going through a little bit of a tough time, anytime you can get some results, it's always nice. It kind of takes a little bit of a weight off your shoulders, but he's going to hit. And, if this is the catalyst to kind of get that going, then great. But I think it's more a matter of him when he starts to consistently get into that strong hitting position, then the results will follow.